If you're not subscribed to my channel, press that little red button and subscribe because there's lots of exciting things to come. Hello, Jade here from The Rawsome Truth. Today I want to talk to you about that dirty word, calories. And why is this word such a dirty word? I believe the weight loss industries have made it the dirty word. It is. Because whether you want to count them, think about them, talk about them, whatever you want to do, we all consume them. Calories are made up of macronutrients, fat, carbohydrates, and protein. So what I want to talk to you today about is calorie restriction and calorie management. There is a difference. Please don't confuse the two. I have never heard so much about calories in my whole life since walking into a plant-based lifestyle. And that is a pretty amazing thing for me to say because I counted calories for years. I also worked for one of the largest weight loss companies in the world and educated thousands of women on calorie control and calorie restriction. So why am I hearing so much more about it in the plant-based movement? Is it because a lot of people with eating disorders come into the plant-based movement? Is it because a lot of people who have been struggling to lose weight over the years move into the plant-based movement? Is it because people on plant-based diets are just obsessed with calories? I don't know. You tell me. If you know, leave a comment below. The reason I want to talk about this today is because a lot of people have little to no understanding about what calorie restriction is and what calorie management is. Now, calorie restriction is, it's such a funny discussion point because any dietitian or nutritionist that goes and puts someone on a weight loss calorie control program generally puts them on about 1,200 to 1,500 calories. And a lot of people in the plant-based movement say, well, that's calorie restriction. So I'm going to talk to you about my personal calorie controlled life and my beliefs on what's restriction and what's not. Now, 1,200 calories. Can you survive on 1,200 calories as a female? Yes, you can. I did it for 4 years. Do I believe it's healthy long term to live on a 1,200 calorie diet? No. And I advocated it for many years without having this understanding. Now let me explain to you a little bit about my life. I grew up fairly slim, never had any weight problems. If you don't follow me, I had drug, alcohol problems, moved into a lot of binge eating, binge drinking, all those kind of things, and put on a lot of weight. I then started to go to a large weight loss company, who I'm not going to name, and I followed their point system. So some of you are probably saying, I know who she's talking about. I followed their point system and I did lose weight. In fact, I lost 26 kilos. That's a lot of weight. And I kept that weight off for 4 years and I became an educator in their company and I promoted their products and I promoted their company. And I saw hundreds of women. In fact, I saw probably the biggest amount of women in where I lived in Adelaide. I worked full time. I did a lot of work meetings, so I went into a lot of workplaces and met with a lot of corporate women. I also had large community meetings where 30 to 50 women at one time would come in, and I was doing them twice a day, as well as seeing a lot of other women throughout the day in work companies and seeing up to 60, 70 women in the work company. So I would see up to 200 different women, and I say women, some men, a day. So I dealt with a lot of people, a lot of emotions, a lot of eating disorders, and a lot of issues that go hand in hand with weight problems. And there's not many women I haven't met who've got different issues, but the one thing that most people had in common was they couldn't stick to 1200 calories long term. Now this bothered me so much because I thought I was superwoman. I could do it. I stuck to it for 4 years, and I would see women dropping off, coming back, trying to do this program, and they would love it because you would be told you can eat whatever you like as long as it sticks within your budget. So people, of course, wouldn't understand how to stretch their budget out far enough, and they would be still eating the same foods that they always ate, but smaller portions. And then, give it 5-6 days, their little brain is just starving. It's craving for nutrients, craving for food. You're not thinking properly. You're feeling very blank because you're not having the nourishment that your body requires, and results in binge eating, going off the rails, eating a lot, and the weight starts coming back on. For me, I managed to control this for 4 years, and that's a long time to live on 1200 calories. But I wasn't healthy. I thought I was so healthy. I looked super slim, and I'd exercise, and I'd wear all these gorgeous little designer outfits, and I thought I was the ants pants. I wasn't the hippie that I am now. And my biggest problem was I had such anxiety while on this lifestyle. But I didn't realise that it was caused by this lifestyle. These companies, these big dietary companies, they recommend diet products. And I was living on a lot of diet products, including Diet Pepsi and Diet Cola. So I was buzzing off my head on caffeine, which I've never been a coffee drinker, but all of a sudden I started including these into my diet, and I was drinking up to 10 to 12 cans. Can you imagine drinking that many cans of Pepsi or Diet Cola a day? I was buzzing off my head on caffeine. As well as that, you're having all this NutraSweet products, and the aspartame, which makes up the NutraSweet products, is poison. So I'm filling up on diet yogurts, diet, custards, diet bars, diet chocolate, diet, sodas and everything. And a lot of them have caffeine in it, so I'm buzzing. And I was suffering great anxiety. In fact, this is when my anxiety hit its all-time high, and I never understood why. I'm thinking, but I'm so healthy, I'm slim, I'm gorgeous, what's going on? And I'm buzzing. And the only reason I had to keep drinking so much of this caffeine is because I was starving. My body was so hungry, but instead of eating food, because it didn't fit in my budget, I'd have a Diet Cola. And a lot of people who follow these programs, that's what they find themselves filling up on. But it doesn't help you long term. And when I was watching these women who I had women who followed me who lost a lot of weight. I'm a very motivating person. They would lose a lot of weight, and I'd be so proud. And of course, it was another feather in my cap. And I'd be so proud, and then little by little I'd watch the weight creep back on, and I'd be, come on, and eventually they'd fall completely off the wagon. And I would scratch my head and say, why is this happening? And I was so brainwashed by the company. I'd think, well, it couldn't be this. They're just not following it diligently enough. But putting more and more research into it, and this is when I started to study nutrition, this is when I started to move further into the plant-based lifestyle, but I hadn't fully crossed that line. I started to realise that calorie restriction, and I used to call it calorie control, calorie restriction, they don't like that word. Calorie restriction doesn't work long term. And I also started to realize these diet products were doing nothing to help me improve my health or enhance my health. So I could stay super skinny, and I was super skinny. I could stay super skinny and have anxiety, have insomnia, starting to suffer depression. My skin had clogged up all over there. I unbalanced my hormones dreadfully, and I had cystic acne come up everywhere because I was filling up on protein powders because I needed to stay full. I was living on egg whites. I was living on, chicken breasts and bits of broccoli, and, I just wasn't living a proper life, and I wasn't nourishing my body with proper nutrition. You cannot nourish your body with proper nutrition living on a points plan. Yes, you will lose weight, and I'll never tell anyone for one moment. Of course you will. You'll lose weight on any diet. I laugh when people say diets don't work. They all work. If it's not working, you're not working. But long term, do they work? Now, I just want to tell you something about these calorie-controlled diets. Only 5% of people ever take their weight off. Only 5%. Not very much. And out of that 5%, only 10% ever keep it off long term. So, I thought it was great. I'm in that 5, I'm in that 10. But you know what? I could only manage to do it for 4 years. I would love to know if there's people 20, 30, 40, 50 years and see how they're aging, because I really started to see that I was starting to age, and the acne was getting so bad on this lifestyle for me, and the anxiety and the sleep insomnia and everything else. I would like to see long term how these people are surviving. And are you super slim? I don't want to hear people say, yeah, I'm living on it, and you're still overweight because you're bouncing back and forth of it. I'm saying long term, keep it off. So this is why I said, you know what, this isn't working. Everyone keeps putting their weight back on. And it's all right, yes, you can see in these glossy magazines, I got my weight off. You can see it on the ads, I got my weight off. But how long is it off? Now I have managed to keep my weight off. I'm not super skinny like I was, but I'm still very healthy. I'm not overweight. I'm well within my healthy weight range. I have kept my weight off now for 7 years, and I honestly believe the reason I have kept my weight off is I've never stopped searching for ways to reach the pinnacle of health. And that is what it needs to be about. Not calorie restriction, about reaching the pinnacle of health. And that is why I moved into the plant-based lifestyle and plant-based cooked, and now where I am now, plant-based raw. I recommend on plant-based raw a minimum of 2,000 calories. I don't recommend this craziness though, where I see people saying you can eat as much as you want on this lifestyle, you will be super skinny, because that's not the truth either. Unless you're riding a bike up mountains for hours at a time, or you're running excessively, or you're doing excessive weights, training, whatever. Ultimately, if you are eating more than what your body is burning, long term you're going to put on weight. So 2,000 calories is what is recommended by the World Health Organization is healthy for a woman of my age, which I'm 39. And I would suggest if you're in your 20s, you're probably looking at about 2,200 calories, depending on your height. If you're about 5'1", 5'2", 5'3", you probably only need the 2. It's just your metabolisms will work a lot faster than women 35 and above. Metabolisms will not work as fast. Who is active? I am active, but I'm not super active. I'm not doing, I'm not burning thousands of calories a day. So, don't fall into what you hear out there in this movement. You can eat what you want. You can eat what you want. Sure, you can, but long term it's going to do nothing for your weight. So that's when it hits a point where you can have that calorie management. And calorie management is saying, you know what? I want to be healthy, and healthy is to have a minimum of about 2,000 calories, and that's, you know, that is enough to thrive, and that is enough to sustain life, and that is enough to have energy. When you start moving into heavy exercise, work out how many calories you're burning, and if you need that extra 1,000 calories, have it by all means. But don't start moving into, I can have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 calories and think that you're going to be okay and then complain, I'm gaining weight. You're gaining weight because you're eating too much. There hits a point where you can hit too much. So for me, I know 2,100 is good for me. Anything when I start going further, and that's when I start smashing down the dates and things like that, my weight will start to creep on around my waist. That's where it goes. It goes in my waist, it goes in my belt, it goes in my thighs. So I have calorie management. There are people that say you should up the exercise. No, I'm happy. I'm doing 30 minutes to an hour exercise enough, which is more than enough. Thank you very much. I'm not going to keep exercising in order to eat more. That doesn't make sense to me. For me, if I eat about 2,100 calories, I have more than enough food. I feel satisfied. I've got more than enough energy, and I am totally energized. If I have days where I'm super hungry, sure, I'm going to eat something else. I'm not going to stop myself from eating, you know, a half an avocado if that's what I feel my body's craving, or a couple of extra bananas if that's what I feel I need. I mean, fruit digests super quick in our system. But I'm not going to go to the point of extreme either and say smash them in. You know, there hits a point where it can get to a point of ridiculousness, and then you're putting the blame on this lifestyle, but you're totally overeating. And I think the biggest way we can overeat on this lifestyle is smoothies, because we can put a lot in, and I love smoothies, but I'm very cautious as to how much I put in them, because I don't want to get to the end of the day and say, wow, I've had 4,000 calories. And, you know, and I keep doing that every day, and the weight will start creeping on for me. So calorie management is not calorie restriction, and I really want people to understand the difference between the two. And if you are finding you are gaining weight, don't think, oh, long term it's going to come off if you're gaining weight. No, you've got to look and say, I've got to pull up a little bit what I'm eating. Anyhow, that's my little video on calories. That's my little story on calorie restriction and what it did for me and my mind, and why I don't advocate calorie restriction, but I always advocate calorie management. I'm Jade. This is the Rawsome Truth. Remember, love life and live free.